guys, I am recovering from a cough slash weird drainage that did not actually become a sore throat. That is why I sound a little bit more guttural than usual. Regardless, last week I made a video about my first teaching job. I wanted to include another story about that job, but I felt that if I included it in last week's video, it would make the video way too long. I feel like it's something that no one really thinks about going into a musical career, so I will be telling you another story about how I crapped up. Full disclosure, this was during my first year of teaching at Long and McQuaid. I learned from this experience. Oh, I learned from this experience. This was about the time when I finally did work up my studio to be around 5 to 7 students. One Saturday, one of my first students, I can't remember if it was the first or my second student, but one of them showed up a half hour late. This student was having an hour-long lesson though. I remember thinking to myself, oh, I guess I must have just written it down wrong in my schedule. I just assumed we were actually supposed to be starting a half an hour later. So I'm teaching, and then halfway through, my next student shows up at their actual time. I can't believe I did this, but I actually went out and asked if they could stay an extra half hour. So they were waiting for the full half hour that they were supposed to be taking a lesson with me while I finished teaching this other student. But then when they came in, that's when the next student came in, because these were a bunch of half-hour lessons back to back. You can start to see now where this is going, right? Domino effect. Picture this 20-year-old trying to explain to a bunch of very annoyed, none of them were angry, but they all looked royally annoyed, trying to explain to them that a student prior to them had shown up late. I just remember thinking to myself, like, Joe, you messed up. That was the one experience that really enforced it in my brain that I can't just let my students tell me when they want to show up and then just teach them for an hour when they show up. It not only messes up my schedule, but it actually messes up everybody else's schedule. So that one student managed to mess up the schedules of about 6 other students, which includes messing up the schedules of those students' parents, because most of the time the parents took their kids to lesson. I only had maybe 1 or 2 students who actually took the bus over by themselves. That's a lot of schedules being pushed back a half hour, and that can't always happen. I had to do some damage control after that, and I had to send out an email to all of the parents. I had to explain that it was my fault, essentially that I believed the first student, and I ended up messing up everyone's schedules. That was extremely embarrassing, because if you think about it, I was already embarrassed by the first student that showed up on their correct time. Now, if you can imagine that embarrassment repeating at every half-hour interval until I was finished teaching for that day. Think of your most embarrassing moment, then think of having to repeat it 4 or 5 more times at half-hour intervals. So why am I telling you guys this? For some reason, everyone tells you to be organized, but no one really tells you how to be organized. So let this video be one example of how not to be organized. Let's say you're watching this video and you know that you're going to become some sort of private teacher or tutor or something like that. When you write down the times that your students are supposed to show up, you are right. If the student turns up at a different time, claiming that they think it's that time, when you know that you have confirmed it with them and with you that it is the time that is written in your schedule, stick to your guns. You will feel bad having to only maybe teach this student for a half hour when they signed up for an hour-long lesson, but the thing is, they booked you for a full hour. So whether or not they show up, you should still be paid for that full hour. Don't let other people tell you what your schedule is supposed to be when you know what is written in your schedule. I learned that the hard hard way. There was a part of me that wanted to quit teaching because it was that embarrassing. I don't know why, but the parents did not hold it against me. I was only 20 at that time. Maybe they just saw me as a kid making a mistake, which that's exactly what I was. I'm not even going to try and fight and say that, you know, I was 20, so I was supposed to be considered an adult. Like, no, I was a dumb kid. All I'm saying is learn from my mistakes and don't do that. Just stick to your guns. I hope you guys don't mind that shorter video. I really am not up for speaking for much longer than that. One little announcement before I leave. I am going to be on a cruise ship for the next week or so, which means that next week there will not be a video. I want you guys to realize that I am fully human and I need a vacation sometimes. However, in the times that I am late posting a video, I noticed that a lot of you guys would go back to other videos and watch them again. So I would love for you guys next week to go back to a video of mine, maybe it's a favorite of yours, and I want you to find a comment underneath and respond to it. I feel like you guys are also just as educated as I am to answer, so I would love for you guys to do that on my behalf. I'm gonna be on a cruise ship, which means that Wi-Fi and data is gonna be very spotty. Okay, you got it? Do that for me next week. But for this video, I would love for you guys to comment below and let me know what some of your musical mishaps are. Honestly, I feel like we learn the best from our mistakes. I know there are plenty of younger ones out there watching these videos, and I just feel like you guys would learn so much from reading the comments below of people who are a little further than you in the journey. Anyway, I think that is all my throat can handle right now. So as usual, if you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and hit subscribe for new videos every Saturday, except next Saturday. My last video is over there, and if you want to catch me during the week, maybe not this week because I'm on a cruise, my social media network stuffs are down there. But otherwise, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.